Split. It's the newest film from Split. It's the newest film from Split. It's the newest film from M. Night Shyamalan. Is it any good? Let's find out. Hey, what's up, you guys? Film Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Split. So Split stars James McAvoy and Anya Taylor-Joy, and what this film is about. It's about this guy who has 23 different personalities, and he captures these three girls, and these three girls need to get out of this place before his 24th personality unleashes. So, what did I think of Split? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have too much expectations. I mean, it did look interesting from the trailers, but I didn't have too much of expectations going into Split, because I'm not really the hugest fan of M. Night Shyamalan. I mean, his first two movies were fantastic. The Sixth Sense is a great horror film, and Unbreakable, honestly, I think that's his best movie. It's a phenomenal film, but everything else from that point has been garbage. I haven't seen The Village or The Happening, but everything else, like Signs and Lady in the Water, Last Airbender, The Visit, they weren't really good movies. So I didn't have too much of expectations going into Split, and Split's a great movie. Like, it really was. This is definitely, I think, his best movie since Unbreakable. It was such a great film. I loved Split. It's such a great psychological thriller. And it's even more than just a psychological thriller. This movie makes you think. Like, seriously, this movie really makes you think. So, let's get to my positives with the film. My positives are the acting. The acting was actually really good in this movie. I thought the acting was pretty good in this film. You know, James McAvoy as Kevin, this guy who has 23 different personalities, he was great. And the way he would just go kind of playing each personality, he did a great job with that and making them different from each other, and it was great. He did a really good job in this movie. You know, James McAvoy was fantastic. He definitely gives one of the best performances he's ever given in his career. He was fantastic in this film. I love James McAvoy in this movie. Anya Taylor-Joy, she was great too. I thought she was really enjoyable in the film as well. You know, I thought she was great. She has a very interesting character to her, and when you see with some certain things with her, it was great, and it was definitely something more to add to her character. And I actually really liked that about the movie, and she was great. I thought she did a really good job in the film. And the other two girls weren't too bad either. They were pretty good for what they had to do and stuff, and I thought they were pretty good as well. So yeah, and the woman that plays the psychiatrist as well was great. So yeah, the acting is really great in this movie. You know, it's a very closed psychological thriller. You know, it's very closed. You know, it takes place mostly in this one location for the most part, except when we have to go back with the psychiatrist, you know, with the three girls. And it's great. It really makes you feel like, you know, you're in this closed thriller, and you know, it felt really intense throughout the entirety of the movie. Like, you know, I really did feel like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen, you know, with these girls and with Kevin and stuff. So yeah, I was very interested to see where this movie would go. And the stuff with the psychiatrist as well. That was great. Whenever, you know, Kevin had to go visit the psychiatrist, that was great too. And seeing their back and forth with each other was fantastic. And they just made for some great scenes, and I really enjoyed those as well. The way that this movie makes you think. Now, let me explain what I meant by, in the beginning, when I meant by this movie makes you think. There's some certain things, of course I'm not going to spoil it, but there are some certain things that happen towards the end of this movie. Like, there is something that happens at the end of this movie where I'm just like, happens in the third act, I'm like, what? This makes no sense. But then once you get to the ending of this movie, you're like, okay, now everything makes perfect sense. And you go back onto the movie now, you like look back on it and like, wait a minute, this was there, like you look back. After the movie is done, you look back on some certain things and you're like, wait a minute, that makes sense, like you're just going back on it, and it's a movie that really messes with your mind and really makes you think. Not like in a confusing way or anything, it just kind of messes with your mind and makes you think a lot in this movie, and I really appreciate that from M. Night Shyamalan. I think he did a really great job with that, making you think and making you looking back on some certain events, making you actually want to rewatch the movie again to make you go like, okay, that makes sense, like just pointing out some things you might not have noticed the first time. And he does a really great job with that in this movie. You know, the writing is fantastic. I love the writing with this movie. I thought the writing was really good. The writing was really good in the film. The directing was great too. M. Night Shyamalan does a fantastic job directing this movie. I absolutely love his directing with this film. Some really great cinematography. Very well shot. You know, so yeah, I know everybody hates his first point of view thingamajig, but it didn't bother me in this movie. It really didn't. You know, actually, it kind of worked. It actually really worked in this movie, to be honest with you. So yeah. The pacing was good for the most part, honestly. I did think the pacing was good. Moved at a pretty nice, natural pace for the most part, so yeah. Now, I do only have two problems with Split, and those being, I didn't really care for the other two girls. Although, they weren't bad characters or anything. I thought their performances were pretty solid, to be honest. It was just, I didn't really care too much for those characters. You know, I just really cared for more of Anna Taylor-Joy's character. That's who I really was caring for the most. Just the other two, I didn't really care for it that much, to be honest. So yeah. And lastly, I did think the movie got a little bit slow at times, just a little bit. There were some times where the movie did kind of take a kind of did drag a little bit, just a little bit at times. The movie's an hour and 57 minutes. So yeah, I figured there was gonna be a point where it was good, just drag a little bit. So yeah. Overall, I do think Split is a great movie. We have the first great movie of 2017. Woohoo! So yeah, Split. And who would have known the first great movie from 2016 would be from M. Night Shyamalan? So yeah, Split was a great movie. I absolutely loved it. So yeah. So it's time for my official grade on Split, and my official grade on Split is an A-. Fantastic movie, a great psychological thriller that I think everyone should check out. It's a fantastic movie. I love Split. So yeah. So, what did you guys think of Split? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we'll see you out later. Peace.